Hi everyone, my name is Johannes Molin and I'm the Global Head of the Professional Services Department at Viedoc. In this short video I want to show you our reports tool and how you can benefit from it. So Viedoc Reports is accessed through the EDC, just like all our applications. When you enter Viedoc Reports, you will first land on the dashboard, where you will see an overview of the recruitment status in the study. But before going into those details, I'm going to go to my own settings here and I'm going to change to my preferred mode, the dark mode. So I'm again looking at the dashboard where I have the status of screened, enrolled, enrollment progress, and I can see the enrollment rate. I'll also see the study plan that we have set up with how many subjects we expect to enroll and the targeted date when we hope to complete the enrollment. You can also see that compared to what the system is today calculating will be the end date of the enrollment based on your current enrollment rate. You will see recruitment graphs displayed in different ways based on study, country, site, and you will be able to zoom in to see the finer details if you want to take a closer look at specifics. You will see the subject status to see how this is progressing through the study, how many subjects are ongoing, how many has been completed and withdrawn, and again displayed on different levels. You will also see details for reasons for withdrawal and the number of events initiated in the study. So the dashboard alone will be a great tool for you to keep track of your study. But on top of that, we also have other sections in the reports tool. So next I'm going to move on to the demographics section. In the demographics section we have several items that you have selected that are more interesting than others, and they are all plotted in this view. You can just view the plots as is, of course, but you can also select one of the plots to have the other ones arranged by that one. In my example here, I just click the gender plot to have everything displayed by gender. Sometimes, but not always, this is a great tool in addition to looking at tables and listings to be able to see patterns in how the data has been reported in your study. The adverse events works in a similar way. You have selected a few items beforehand and you will see them displayed and plotted in this view. And you can click any of those items to have the other plots arranged by it. In my example here, I will just click on the site level to have everything arranged by site. And I can also use this stacked bar to make it even easier to compare the data. And I can perhaps also zoom in here to just look at all the details that I want to see. So again, this could be a very valuable way of looking at the adverse events compared to just looking at listings and tables. The next section here is the data browser. The data browser will contain all the data in the CRF, and you will have all the flexibility to choose what columns to display here, to sort, search, filter among the data just as you want to. So you would select the form you want to review, and you can also use the cross-check mode so that you can show multiple forms at the same time. Any data you want to export, well, you can of course do that in a variety of formats. Last but not least, we have the report section where we have a high number of standard reports topped with some custom reports as well that you can create for your own study. The standard reports will be displayed in this drop-down, and you will be able to see and display all these different reports on different levels. So starting with the recruitment report, you will be able to see it on a country level, site level, subject level. So this will give you the high-level overview, but you will also see the finer details of this. So in the recruitment report, you can see stats on screening failure rate, how many ongoing subjects, how many completed, withdrawn, and so on. Similar with the review status, you can see how many forms have been locked, STV'd, on a country level, site level, all the way down to form level. So if you want to just get an overview, you can do that on a country or site level, but when you want to go down to the details, you can review this on a form level, and you can even filter to see what forms have not been locked yet, or STV'd, or signed. Similar reports exist for missing data, queries, pending forms, and data entry cycle time is a great example. Here you will see, again, in different levels, what is the data entry lag? How long time does the site need to enter their data? And by comparing sites, in this case, you will get a great indication in how well they are doing. We also have reports on medical coding, both to see the entire coding data set, but also to see unique term reports for medical coding, so that you can easily identify if you have any coding discrepancies. So when the same term has been coded in different ways, you will easily be able to capture that in this report. There are also reports for overdue events to see where the visit window have expired, but the event has not yet been initiated. And again, you can view this on a country level, site level, subject, and event level. So you can list all the events that this is relevant for. On top of this, you can also see a report called past proposed date, where the event date window has not yet expired, but is about to. We also have an audit trail review report in Viedoc Reports. Most systems can just export all the data from a study, including the history data, and so can Viedoc. But to make a meaningful review of the audit trail, you need something more than that. So that's why we have our audit trail review report here. Here you can decide to view perhaps the rate of changes for a specific country or specific site, or for the study in total. Right now, here I'm looking at the rate of changes. So I can look at that on a country level to see what countries are changing the data the most, and the same thing on a site level. So this is a very valuable comparison to see that some sites are changing the data a lot, while others are not doing this at all. And looking at the number of data changes per site, if they are changing the data a lot, that could be a quality concern. So that is something that you might want to look closer at. You can also see the rate of changes on an event level, but also on a form level. So with this, you will be able to see if perhaps you have complicated forms that you need to redesign a bit, or perhaps you need to retrain the sites on how to enter data in those forms. The next report is the Key Risk Indicators report, which is a great comparison on site and their performance. Here you will see with a simple traffic light system how well they are doing based on a few different indicators. And remember, all this is based on metadata, so these are straight out of the box reports. You do not need to do any manual configuration to have these reports available. So I will display this by key risk indicators, and here you will see that we can have the number of pending forms per subject, we can have the signature lag in days, the data changes per form, the number of open queries per subject, and so on. All in all, this will give you a great overview on how the sites are performing. Standard reports will not always be sufficient in your study. You might also need to add custom reports to have even better ways to review the actual data. So therefore, we also have custom reports in the tool. Custom reports would be configured using R and then uploaded in Viedoc Designer. That would mean that you can create simple tables and listings, such as the treatment-related SAEs, as the example I'm showing you now, which is just a subset of the adverse event log, really. But it could also mean very complex reports. It could be complex reports looking at data from many different forms and also computing and deriving data from those. So one example is, well, SDTM datasets. You can configure that all in R, upload the R script in Viedoc Designer, and then have your full SDTM dataset in Viedoc Reports. The different domains could then be the sub-reports within your datasets. We do also have support for plots in the reports tool. So with help from the Plotly package in R, we can configure these reports And these are just a few examples that I'm showing you now, but here you can use your imagination. What is the data you want to display and how do you want to display it? So with the reports tool and the custom reports and plots, you can really use your imagination and creativity. And keep in mind that the reports tool is updating daily. So whatever reports you are adding today, whatever scripts you're adding now, users will be able to benefit for this throughout the rest of the study. They can just log into Viedoc Reports whenever they want to, and they will have this report based on the latest data in the EDC. If you want to reuse the reports across studies, that will be fine too. You will just upload your R script for the next study as well.